is Catherine Turner. Most people call me Kathi. And I came here to Good Sam in 1970. Please don't do the math. Anyway, we have just moved here because of a job change, and my son and my husband and I. And we were staying at my mother and father's place they lived on Prune Ridge, about a block down from Wolf. As I recall, it was a beautiful October morning, and I was heading up to the Safeway, which was then in the same area as the church, and to get something for breakfast. As I came up to Wolf Road, there on the corner of Wolf and Homestead was an apricot drying yard, which gives you some idea of how long ago that was. And that's before all of the technical fruit came in, the apples and such. Anyway, I went into the parking lot where the Safeway Market was, and this beautiful sounds were coming. And it turned out on that beautiful October day, the doors of the sanctuary were open. And it was the old sanctuary, which is now, the Fellowship Hall and many other rooms. And they were singing, must have been the youth choir, as I recall, because it was a little after 9 o'clock. And they were singing Morning Has Broken. And I thought, as I stood there with this beautiful sounds filling the parking lot, I'm going to have to stop in there. And so a couple of Sundays later, I did just that, and I guess you could say I never left. And what I recall the most, even though I've been through, some 8 or 9 pastors, the biggest portion of my stay at Good Sam and my sort of glory days at Good Sam were when Ernie Bringus and Pastor Dunn were here, and following that, Lee Nash. And those were times when we did a lot of music and a lot of drama, all through various administrations, Rachel and John Kraft, and all of them. We did a lot of music, and we did a lot of drama. Sometimes that would be what we would do for a sermon, and it was a lot of fun, and a lot of interesting things went on. But the things I think of and remember the most were all of the changes that came over the time that I was at Good Sam, and through them all, the one thing about Good Sam that always remained the same was that it was about the fact that we were one human race. That was the only race there was, and we were all in it together. And that the word of Jesus and the gospel was that the bottom line of Christianity was love. I remember the time we had something called reconciliation time, and we had classes, and we went through a lot of these classes, recognizing how we could be better Christians if we learned to accept. And we did some wonderful things. We had something that we would have on Martin Luther King Day, and we did that for 2 or 3 years in a row, and we had all kinds of displays and drama and music and things that led us to becoming a reconciling church. And that is what I love the most. But for me personally, what I love is that Good Sam has been my family. My husband is gone. My son lives in another country. And Good Sam remains why I would never leave this place, because they have been my family through every difficult thing and for every joyous thing. And I am grateful for that. And I am so glad and so blessed to have Good Sam as my church and my family. Happy anniversary, Good Sam.